So we're here at the head of the lake, just over halfway through the course. Yas, take us through the rest of the course up to this point.
So obviously we start off fence 1, 2 and 3 are quite forward type of fences just to get us going in our rhythm, and we meet our first combination at fence 4 ABC, which is quite a steep drop into sort of a splash of water, and then we run up quite a steep hill on the way out to a very skinny box at B, and then we run down the hill sort of curving right on 4 or 5 strides to an angled brush, which is again quite steep on the landing side. So that's our first combination to get us going, and then we sort of make our way out into the middle of the park. The next combination being 6 ABCD, which is quite a strong coffin combination, so a really difficult and tough question, definitely. It's a very, very steep ditch sort of in the middle of the coffin, and then we're sort of running up and out over 2 very skinny and tall triple brushes on 2 strides, so that's definitely a combination to look out for. And then we sort of run out into the park again. We've got another couple of fences just to get us going again, and then we reach the probably the highest point on the course actually at 8 ABC. It's kind of like a roller coaster type fence. You've got a really wide set of like a triple rail to a box, and then curving left bend to an open corner, so that will be another combination to watch. Obviously those that corner up at fence 8 ABC is on the yellow MIM clip, so it's the safety system, and if they're sort of rattled a bit too hard they'll drop, so we just need to be respectful of those. And then again running down the hill, we've got another couple of nicer brush fences, a big sort of open ditch, and then we reach our second water at fence 10 A, B, C and D. So we have a brush down into the water, 3 sort of curving strides to a corner in the middle of the water, and then we're running up the bank to sort of a skinny on the way out, so then we can run off away from there. And then we head up to Pete's Hollow, which is jumped the opposite way to last year, so that's interesting. And it's sort of like a bit of a S-bend snake kind of thought process with the logs. So we jump in over A at the top of the hollow, and then we run down into the middle of the hollow, jumping a angled log sort of little bit left to right, and then we run up the hill, very, very steep hill, to the C element again, which is sort of curving left. So that will be definitely a question to keep the horses thinking, you know, where are they looking to next. We're going to have to be really quick with our reactions there. And then again running down the hill, we've got a couple of nice fences just to get us going again, and then I would say the next big question after then is here at the head of the lake at 16 ABC, 17 and then 18 ABC. So we've got lots going on here. We've got quite a large drop down into the main water, and then we've got our BC element, which is the sort of fish on the way out, and then we move around left over to the set of rails that we're just going to run into the water again, and then we run through the water, step up over the bank here at 18 ABC, and we've got a really tricky combination here to get to the BC element, which is a corner tucked right behind the tree, so it's on 2 strides, and the horses will have to be really, really quick on their feet to sort of react to that. So that'll be a really interesting fence to watch.
There's a lot to jump up until this point, so let's go and have a look at the last third of the course.
Sounds good.
So September was a pretty good month for you, becoming world champion at 25 years of age. How's life changed since then?
Yeah, it's been amazing actually. It was a very unexpected win in Pratoni. It was our first senior championships, first time at a world championship, so it was definitely a big ask, but I knew that me and Banzai were up to the challenge, and he performed to his absolute best all week. Pulled out a PB dressage, and then only added 1.2 time penalties cross country to take the top spot. So yeah, looking back since then, we've been working really hard to try and sort of maintain that work, and try and even improve a little bit more with the dressage. We've been working a lot with the great trainers from the world class program to try and just better, even if it's just a couple of marks here and there, just to try and gain a little bit more of a gap if we can. And then as well with the jumping and cross country, unfortunately we've had a bit of a rough spring. I would say that the weather hasn't been too kind to us, so we've missed a couple of our preparation runs, but that hasn't seemed to have bothered Banzai that much so far. He ran really brilliant at Thorsby in the Grantham Cup, so we had a great result there. He was third. Brilliant prep to come here in Kentucky, and yeah, very much looking forward to seeing how he gets on this week again.
Yes, we're here at the Coastquin Cove with the great corgi here in the background. You've got about a third of the course to go. Run us through the last couple of fences.
So we leave the head of the lake and we run up the hill over a big set of rails to get us going again, and then we meet the Normandy bank at 20 AB and 21. So we step up the Normandy bank and then we have a sort of left bending strides to 2 angled shoulder brushes. So they're on quite an acute angle, so I think they'll be very influential. Then we run on down the hill here and then we meet another sort of open fence at the staircase. And then we come round here and jump into the Coastquin Cove over the corgi at 23A. So my plan is to stay a little bit left and then jump the corgi sort of left to right. And I'll be bending line, so I'm getting my B fence lined up here at the corner. And then I'll be making sure I've got enough punch and power in my canter to have a nice jump over B. It's still quite wide as well and it's quite upright, so we need to make sure we give them enough punch and power in the canter to have a good jump over that. And then we're looking to see just over in the distance past the tree, and that walks on a nice open 4 strides. And then once we've jumped C, we run on round the bend and sort of look up to go home. And then our last combination, we have the 2 sort of skinny chicanas, which will be you've got to really respect those because the horses will be a little bit tired now, and just got to make sure that we look after them this little latter part of the course here and get them home safely and ride on through the finish hopefully.
It's quite a long course, it's just over 6,500 metres and you've got 11 minutes 26.
Yeah.
From riding here last year, is it a similar sort of time? Is the terrain different because it's in slightly different directions? How do you think that time will ride?
I think it'll always be quite tough here to get the time. I didn't quite make the time last year, I was a few seconds off. The course is slightly longer this year. We were 11:07 last year, we're now 11:26, so we're about 20 seconds further for this year's course. We've definitely got a couple of slower minutes and a couple of faster minutes. So the slower minutes we usually have more jumping efforts and they seem to take a little bit longer, whereas the faster minutes are the minutes that we maybe only have 2 or 3 jumping efforts that aren't sort of combinations and they won't hold us back too much. So we need to be clever on where we can make up our time and really utilise those straight galloping parts that we can sort of move on and try and make up a little bit of time.
And the fellow British riders, they're quite close in front of you, so you probably won't be able to watch them. Who will be the first few that you may watch?
Well, actually, I'm not sure. I haven't really seen the starting list, but I would like to watch the first group that go and give me a good idea as to how the combinations are riding and the lines that I've walked and see how they're riding. So that's the plan.